Welcome to another episode of What's Happening, What's Up. The show is designed to bring people in the community to the forefront, people that's making some sort of positive impact or doing something that the public needs to know about. This is part 2 of my interview with Ron Stradt. He's running for state's attorney. And Ron, can you give the public a little bit of insight on what you're about and what you're trying to do?
Well, I'm running for state's attorney because I want to restore trust and integrity to the office. I'm, as you know, a Marine Corps veteran, and I spent 5 years in the Marine Corps, and after wearing the uniform of United States Marine, I learned a lot about leadership and integrity, and I want to bring that to the state's attorney's office. Like most people in the community, I've read articles about cases that are not being prosecuted and some cases that are being prosecuted, but the people are being treated differently, and to me that seems fundamentally unfair. So I'm running to restore trust and integrity.
As I read your bio, there's a point in there that it really stuck with me, and it was dealing with accountability, you know. And I think everyone needs to be held accountable for whatever they do. How are you planning to be accountable, and what are you going to be accountable for?
Well, accountability, I believe, is at the core of our democracy. We, the people, need to be able to hold our public officials accountable. And for the state's attorney, you can hold the state's attorney accountable by calling the state's attorney and asking, why isn't this case being prosecuted? Or how is it that, this guy is being prosecuted, but this other guy over here is not being prosecuted? I think you could hold a public official accountable when the public official has an open door policy, and I will certainly have that as the state's attorney.
Okay. With that open door policy, you don't think that you'll be overwhelmed as opposed to having someone that's embedded in the community to pretty much channel issues that need to be addressed?
Well, that's a good question, Frank. I hope not to be overwhelmed with people wanting to claim that I need to be held accountable because I haven't been doing the job. I plan on doing the job. I plan on doing it very effectively, and I hope not to have many people calling me up to, complain, because I want to be a state's attorney that's going to be firm and fair. I believe that people will be happy with my administration. But I think that what you're getting at with your question, myself and my staff of attorneys should all be held accountable, and I think that they should all know what's going on in the community. And if there's a community activist or a community leader that sees something that's going on and it's not being addressed, they should call me, and I would be more than happy to meet with them.
So you're saying that you would have the community, excuse me, the community leaders to act as somewhat of a liaison?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you as a state's attorney, how would you go about getting in contact or being in touch with the community?
Well, I would continue doing what I'm doing right now, which is to reach out to all communities. There's a number of neighborhood associations. There's a number of community leaders that I'm reaching out to, that I'm trying to develop a relationship with. I think it is really important to develop a relationship with people, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to develop a relationship with the voters by going door to door. I'm trying to develop that relationship by going to community events to meet people in the community, to hear from them what's going on in their community. That's something that I'm doing right now, and it's something that I'm going to do when I'm elected state's attorney. I'm going to continue to develop those relationships. I want people to know that I'm not here today and gone tomorrow after I get elected. I think the relationship is important, and I think it's something that should be long-standing.
Okay. Another issue that I want to bring light to our youth in the community. Are there any type of programs or you have set to put in place to deter them from, acting or getting involved in crimes? Any type of after-school programs or anything like that to alert them of the consequences of, being involved in criminal activities?
Well, there's a couple of things that I want to do for youth in particular. One is teen court. There are teen court programs that are occurring throughout the county, and I think it has a positive impact on youth to see what the consequences of their actions could be in a real world setting. I think teen court is a positive influence for kids, and I think everybody should get involved. And when I'm elected state's attorney, that's something that I'd like to do more with. The other thing for youth in particular is in schools. I would like to be in the schools. I would like to, I can't take the place of a teacher. I'm not a certified teacher. However, I can stand side by side with teachers. For example, I could be side by side with the driver's ed teacher. The driver's ed teacher who is teaching students the rules of the road. I could be there to let them know what the consequences of failing to follow the rules of the road. I could be in classrooms to talk about drug awareness, staying away from drugs or just saying no to drugs. That, I think, would be a positive role model for our students to see.
Sounds good. What type of impact are you planning on making in the African American community as far?
I hope to make a very positive impact. Like I said earlier, I'm working on developing relationships with community leaders, and I hope that's something that I can continue to do. I don't want to just reach out for a vote. I want to reach out to develop a relationship. And so after I'm elected state's attorney, I will continue to do that. And not only the African American community, but in every community, because I really do feel very strongly that everybody should be treated equally. And that means you got to learn more about the communities that you're not often in. And so that's something that I will do.
Well, I hate to sound like an African American activist, but on your staff, do you have any appointed African Americans?
Well, once I'm elected, obviously there's assistant state's attorneys that are currently employed. I can't tell you what the makeup of the staff is. I don't know how many women, how many men, how many African American, how many Hispanics they have. But once a vacancy does occur, my intention is to hire somebody who shares my vision and has a passion for knowing what's going on in the community and will be a fair and firm prosecutor. If the applicant is from Springfield and they're an African American, certainly they're going to be on a short list. Anybody who's qualified, and that has to be the first criterion, qualification. They got to be a licensed attorney, and they don't necessarily have to be an experienced trial attorney, because the state's attorney's office is generally a place where a lot of people begin their career as an attorney. But I know what you're asking me, and I got to tell you that the staff of the state's attorney's office will reflect the community.
Okay, because we will hold you accountable, and we will get qualified applicants to petition you for a job, because I think it should be an even balance. That's just my personal opinion, and I think the community probably echo the same. But we want individuals that's fair. We want the integrity restored, and we want people to be held accountable.
I think there's no better person to come into the office than someone who really knows and understands the community. And if they're qualified, they have the qualifications, and they have the eagerness to be an assistant state's attorney, and they can be firm and fair, and they know the community, I think that would make the perfect applicant.
Man, on that note, I also would like to extend his running mate, or his running opponent, the invitation to be on my show, to rebuttal, or to just let the public know what he's about, or what he stands for. And I'm very excited, and I hope, and I know you're gonna do real good, honestly. We've got a meet and greet, a meet and greet, Ron Stradt at Max Lounge, which is on 13th and Cook. It'll be held on the 28th of this month. And for those of you that want to come out and meet and greet Ron Stradt in person and ask him a few questions, maybe I missed something that you're unsure about, or that you just want to know, you can come down there. And then he also has MySpace, or is that website, which is
go to batforstradt.com. And if there are questions, there's a link there that you can contact me and ask me questions, and I'll be more than happy to respond.
So this is the guy that's running for state's attorney on the Democratic level. We ask that the public come out, meet and greet, and if you have any questions, please be free to hit his website and find out whatever you need to know about Ron Stradt. Just go to Bat for Stradt. And on that note, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. All right. My next guest is Mr. Harold. He owns Harold's Barbecue. He's back in the community. Me and this young man, we go way back, way back. And I was inspired to bring him on my show because he had left the community for a while, and he's back. And I find this barbecue extremely delicious. So without further ado, Mr. Harold, I would like you to give the public a little bit what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Well, I'm located at 406 North Dirksen Parkway, and I'm just trying to provide a full line of barbecue, good barbecue, real barbecue, something that's affordable and something that the people aren't used to.
Okay, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 35 years. 35
years. Well, what are some of your techniques? I know you can't give away your secret recipe, but who are some of the people that you've catered to, and what are some of your techniques for the tenderness of your meat?
Well, my recipes are family recipes that I've changed over the years to make them my own, and I have a unique cooking process. Like a lot of people swear I parboil my meat, but I don't parboil my meat. It's just a cooking process that I have that when you bite the ribs, the bone just fall right out. And it's something that has taken me a long, long time to perfect. And I just enjoy doing this, and I was out of the community. I was head chef at restaurants, and I just wasn't happy. This is what I wanted. This is what I enjoy doing. And, I'm a mobile unit. It's hot. And if you don't have a passion for cooking, you can't do it.
All right. Well, how would an individual go about getting in contact? Do you have a website or MySpace?
No, I don't have a website.
Email address?
I don't have an email address. I'm just located. I've been in business 34 days. And God has blessed me to do this, and things are moving kind of slow right now, but it's going to pick up. I know it will.
Oh, most definitely. And not only that, by people seeing you here, and you have weathered the storm somewhat. I remember when you were on 9th Street. I was one of your biggest fans.
Yeah.
And man, the food is excellent. And how would they go about getting in contact with you? You have a phone number?
Well, my phone number is area code 217-971-8729, and I cater all type of events. So if there's anybody who's in any need for anything that I can help them with, all they have to do is just give me a call. I'm open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I'm there for the people, you know. All Americans love good food, you know, and I think I have good food, and I just encourage you to come out. You know, I'll give them a free sample. I'll let them taste it.
Well, I know you were out at the State Fair. How was it out there?
It was great. It was good to see all the old customers that I had on 9th Street.
Mm-hmm.
I rekindled relationships with a lot of state troopers, same and county police officers who didn't know I was in business,
Mm-hmm.
and I met a lot of new people. And so it was just wonderful. I like being out there. I like being around people. And I like serving good food, so it was right in my element.
Well, do you have any plans for the Ethnic Festival, which is held at the State Fair grounds?
No, financially I'm not able. It's a little bit out of my league, the Ethnic Festival. I checked into that, and it's pretty expensive.
Really? Well.
But my ultimate goal is to end up with a restaurant,
Okay.
full-service restaurant that serves a full line of barbecue, and once I get established on the weekends, I'll be serving soul food like I used to when I had my restaurants.
Okay. Well, we want the public to come out and sample the goods and support this young man. He's on a venture, and you know, I believe God's will is for him to have his. You know, I'm gonna touch and agree with that, or you know, with you.
Yes.
You know, and I believe it'll happen. I believe it'll happen. So, on that note, I want to thank you for being on my show, and I'll have you back when everything blows up, because I know it will. I know it will.
I believe it's in my heart.
Well,
I believe it.
as long as you keep God first, man.
That's right.
Everything else will fall in place.
He didn't bring me this far to leave me, so.
Exactly.
And
so,
there's,
go ahead.
well, he's probably the biggest reason that I'm doing this. I mean, you know, so.
And on that note, once again, I want to thank you for coming on the show. And like I said,
Thank you
I'll
for
have
having
you
me.
back. And on that note, y'all come and get some of this good barbecue. What's happening, what's up? And we out. My next guest that I have on my show is another Harold. And me and this guy, we go back to, I guess everybody I have on the show, we go back. But
20
we go
years.
back about 20 years of DJing. And he just happened to be surfing through the radio, and bam, I heard Master Jam. I'm like, snap, look who got on there. And I was really impressed, man. I was impressed by your articulation, your music selection, and I said, man, I wonder if people know about it.
Well, you know, and I certainly do appreciate this. But I've been off the radio for actually 16 years. I left WNNS in 1992. And, you know, I was working, took care of my dad, you know, before he passed and everything. I got married, kid and everything like that. And I never really thought much about going back into radio, because it's like I did it. Didn't work out, you know, didn't quite have the pipes for it or whatever. But but earlier this year, Deb Kennedy, she had referred me to the program director out at WQNA. I just had a brain fart there. But out at WQNA, Jim Pemberton. And he took Debbie on to do a jazz show, because she was doing a smooth jazz show Sunday mornings on WNNS. And she left there, and Jim Pemberton was smart enough to pick her up. So she's on like Saturday nights doing like 9 to midnight doing a smooth jazz show. Anyway, he asked her if she knew of anybody that could do a old school R&B show. And she gave him my name, and he called me probably about a month later. I told him, I'm like, look, I work nights. And he's like, well, look, there's no pay. So I was like, okay. And he, got me on Monday mornings, 9 a.m. until noon. So I was like, wow, I haven't done this in 16 years, and so much has changed, since then. But I call it the Back to Work groove. It's old school R&B, and it's kind of evolving as the further into the show I do it now. It's mainly old school R&B, but I do a lot of really like older artists that do have out new music. Ann Nesby, Denise Williams, Ray Parker Jr. has got something new out. And just some of my focus is like a lot of these older artists who really don't get any type of airplay anywhere. And the good thing about it is it's me, I get to program it the way I want. I do a little jazz, I do, I've played some Miles Davis on. Recently I just did a tribute to Isaac Hayes. And
I heard that.
And it's, a lot of artists that, I think that we've lost really in the past, 10 plus years. I mean, it's just a plethora of people that, who really don't get the airplay, and just really a younger generation who just don't know about them.
Wow.
And so that's kind of my focus, to kind of educate a little bit, and just more or less like, wow, look what I dug up in my basement. Oh, I'm gonna put this on, So it's, it's fun, and it's something I love to do.
Well, I interviewed a young lady here, as well as myself. I haven't interviewed myself, but as well as myself. If I'm a strong believer that if you love doing something that you would do for no money,
I'm actually doing it.
stick with it, because eventually it'll pay off. And like I said, I enjoy the music because I'm old school myself, and then I'm also a DJ, so I can relate. And a lot of the stuff that you bring to the radio station, I'm like, man, I want to let the community know what's happening, because a lot of people, they're not aware that you're on.
It's weird. There's been a lot of people who've just kind of stumbled on us. Man, I thought I heard you on the radio. I'm like, yeah, you did. And, and I've been on since early March, so it's, barely 6 months into it right now. So, and it's evolving. It's evolving, but I do thoroughly enjoy it. Even though there's no pay involved, but
Right.
it's something I never thought I'd do again, and it's it's fun. Then also as a DJ, you have all this music, and I think one of the things as a DJ that you would like to do is like, hey, look, I got all this great music, why don't you listen to it? And just either doing a club or doing a mobile or whatever, you kind of have your mind on one thing. Of course, somebody's gonna come up and just ask you for something totally different, just kind of mess your flow up. But and that's the ebb and flow of a life as a DJ. So you just you roll with it, and you gotta just kind of take your ego out of it, because sometimes and I know I don't have the best customer service skills all the time.
Get caught up in the moment.
Yeah, and you do. And just sometimes, if they would just let us do our thing, we'll take you on a journey.
Exactly.
And that's the passion of the music, and just something I just thoroughly enjoy, and just musically, I'm really all over the place, because I like what I call first generation R&B, Ruth Brown, Billy Eckstine, Brooke Benton, Dinah Washington, stuff like that I've listened to, and also that I call, I guess, the golden age of R&B, which is like the 70s to almost like the mid 80s. Then some of the more modern stuff I do like, and I just feel now I'm like getting old, and my ears are getting old, and some of the new stuff I can't quite deal with, but I also see it turning a corner, because you do got some good dynamic young vocalists out that I like to feature. Letticy, I'm absolutely in love with her. Major League, Incognito, people like that. So it's cool. So hopefully I can just expose some of these people to a broader audience.
All right. Well, this is Master Jam, and he's located on
WQNA, it's 88.3 FM, Monday mornings, 9 a.m. until noon. It's the Back to Work Groove. And also, if you can listen on the internet, it's www.wqna.org.
Y'all be sure to tune in. And on that note, surround yourself by positive people, and positive things will happen. We're out.